Hello, welcome to the Stockinit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It.
Yay.
And this is episode 14th, January 24th, episode 14. Yeah. So, did you have an interesting weekend?
Yeah, I went up to the cities and met with some lovely ladies and had a great time.
I did as well. So if you hadn't seen out on Plurk or out on the Ravelry forums, the meetup commenced and we met some wonderful ladies. I think there were some of the folks that normally go to the Knitter's Palette that were what the heck are these people doing here?
We displaced some people. They had to go to the back table because we had the front couches.
Yeah. And then Christina Knits was there, and she normally works there, I think, on and off on the weekends, and so people were kind of coming and asking her for stuff, and I felt so bad for her. But I'm sure when she hangs out at her yarn shop, she gets asked a lot.
Yeah.
To do things even when she's not on the clock. So. But anyway, there was, I can't remember, I counted, and now I don't have the number right off the top of my head.
How 10 of us total?
Yeah.
So 8 people and then us?
Yep. And we'll just say I'm Christy, obviously, Christina Knits. As I just said, thank you so very much for the apples. That was such a great idea, and rather than cake. So I love apples. Apples are one of my, in fact, my bag's sitting here. It's bugging me. I'll put it down there. That has apples, and it was a veritable. We can keep going. Becca, aka Bika or Becca, who has a podcast, Knit Bites, was there. Brianna, Bree Knitter. I think she was one of them that had kind of like, these people are coming to my local yarn shop. Maybe I'll go check them out. But yep. she was knitting on a Nanook that was just beautiful. Jeannie, aka Jeggles, was there, and she had brought her knit-along object. That was very pretty. Sarah S. Murphy 2, and she was wearing a hooray, which was beautiful. It was just like a veritable sweater runway.
Yes.
I mean, it was like all kinds of.
Everybody was wearing all sorts of great sweaters.
And they had so many store samples. I think that's the most store samples I've ever seen at that Knitter's Palette.
Yeah, Darn It Anyway can give them a good run for their money in Stillwater, but yeah.
Piles and piles like that.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that back table.
Yeah.
They had a back table that was just covered in sweaters, and it was the size of our dining room table. So, I mean, just really big. And yeah, I forgot. And it was several layers deep too. And then behind the cash register, you're right.
Yep.
You're right. I didn't think about I thought about the ones that are displayed, but they had a bunch that were just in piles everywhere.
Yes, yeah. They have so many that they just had to pile them up. Who else was there? Jennifer, who had the un-Jennifer, who had the Nevis, which was beautiful in TML, much more beautiful in person. Not that you're not a good photographer, Jennifer, but it looked very nice on her, and it was beautiful.
I don't think any camera could do that color justice.
No,
that was amazing.
It's often hard. And then there was Joy, who is Jan Lang, out on, that's her AKA. And then I can't remember the other gal's name.
Yeah, there was one more person, and she was knitting with Brianna.
Yep.
So if we mentioned you or Brianna's watching, she can kind of tell us who that was, so we can give her a little link out in Ravelry.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Ear burner.
Yeah.
She was a hoot and a half. She has a son named Peter. I remember that, but I don't remember her name. So we kind of did like a mini show. It was kind of fun. We went around the circle, and everybody talked about what they were wearing and what they were knitting on and their AKAs, and it was just kind of fun. I should have said in the podcast that I wanted everybody to bring their recent FOs. So Amy and I were wearing our traveling sweaters, as was Christy. So there's 3 of those, and I saw that you used that as your project photo, which is super fun.
Well, I didn't feel like taking another one.
So it was laziness, not like
well, some
coolness.
people might want to see it close up, but I thought that the picture was a lot more cool.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, no, and it was I think we caught a good time of day, like as far as light.
Oh yeah,
it
was
like
great lighting.
Yeah, great photo. Couldn't have had a professional photo that was any better. So let's keep on trucking on because we got lots to talk about.
Yes, we do.
So the knit along continues on, and I think we've got a couple folks that have 2 finished cardigans now. The overachievers out there.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't even have 2.
Yeah.
So and I think maybe somebody was going to do a possible 3rd, but we've got 82 tagged out there. So if you're doing it and you don't have it tagged, it's kind of fun to go out there and see all of them that are tagged. And I think I counted 26 posted to the finished objects thread. So I think I did that right. I took my 1 out. So and then just another odds and ends. Amy and I haven't discussed the details yet, but we purchased some I'm a Zombie buttons.
Yes, we did.
For the designed and purchased them for the meetup, and so we'll get the details out there, but we want to be able to give some away to the folks that couldn't make it, whether geography or otherwise got in the way. So we might start a thread and have like the best excuse for not going, and geography doesn't count.
Right.
Yeah. And maybe, I'll pick a favorite and you'll pick a favorite, and we'll give, a handful away random. And if you're interested in a button and you see that out in the forums, go for it.
Yeah.
So we haven't ironed out the details. We're just jumping right in today. So.
And I swear I updated another odds and ends thing in there.
Uh-oh.
But I remember what I wanted to say, so I'm going to say it right now. It's not in the show notes, but excuse me. Glitter text live and me trying to get that done is a no more go.
Uh-oh.
So I think the last person to get glitter text was the Jennifer. So hello, Jennifer, you're the last one. I would love to do it for everybody. I've been watching everybody's get posted, and then I ran out of clever things to say, and then one day when I was trying to catch up, glitter text was a no-go. It's just a free site, and it just wasn't working. And by the time I got back to it, we had 10 more people, and I was like, I can't catch up to 10, at least not, when I have time to do it. So I'd rather be knitting.
Yeah.
So the first, I think, 14 FOs got glitter text, and I think that's where I'm cutting it off, because I saved my sanity in that, and I just thought I'd announce it. So if you're kind of expecting or hoping for your little glitter text,
I see it there. It's underneath my finished objects.
Oh, whoops.
That's fine. But you remembered, and that's good. We do, unlike the knit girls who have, when they bring it up and show you, it's on a spiral bound notebook, we do all of ours through Google Docs. So like I'll send out a little thing and she types things in and I can see her typing and she can see me typing.
Yeah.
We're online collaborators, so, because you come over and the kids are in bed and it's in and out and off on your way. Just come over and talk to me for a while.
Yep.
So, let's go to finished objects.
Okay.
I have the thin ice. I did 1 skein. It got to about 207, I believe. So it's going to be blocked out to a nice circular, but this was with the knit picks. I'm just going to keep flipping it around and make it seem really interesting. Flip it around anymore, but it was with the knit picks hand paint. It's out on my project page. But I really like it. It's Blue Yonder is the colorway. And I believe it's Rachel. Is that the name of the gal from Inspinity? Mm-hmm. Gave us some blocking wires to... no,
it doesn't.
Patent pending.
Well... We have them to review.
Yes, and I will be using them.
We got the non-lace weight ones because I had already purchased lace weight ones and have used them, and they worked quite nicely. I used them to block my citron, my beautiful orange lace citron, a while back, and I think I used them for like 2 more projects, but they were less shawl and circular, so I probably could have used any blocking wire, but I just chose to use those. So we got the thicker weight ones to try out.
And I will be trying them out. This is going to go for a bath. And I've never used flexible ones before. I think that my set with the rigid ones came with like one. And it was like real flimsy. Mm-hmm. So I don't know why they just included the one, but
I liked them when I was using them. I would say that the lace weight ones were definitely for your thinner yarns, because as I was I think I blocked something that was fingering weight, and even that seemed like meh, maybe, but you wouldn't want to block anything DK weight on those tiny wires. I just don't think it would work out as well. But definitely wonderful for, if you're a lace weight knitter and light fingering is as heavy as you go. I would tend to lean towards the lace weight ones, but I thought trying the non-lace weight ones would be a good test of most of the things that I knit.
And I can't say enough about the pattern. It's beautiful. Sarah of S. Murphy 2 was knitting on hers, and we kind of compared our little texture portion of the shawl, because we, in the pictures you don't get a real close up of it, and we just wanted to make sure that, they look pretty similar. So, but it's really pretty. It was really a fast, quick knit, and the instructions are just so explicit. Like, there's some like drops, minutia. Or like an Isiger pattern goes, continue this on for the next 50 rows. No, every single row was written out in this pattern. So I really liked that as well. And I shall show it to you once it is actually a blocked finished object.
And for people she's saying it's quick because she used one skein of yarn. I think that you can keep going and use multiples.
I think there's like maybe 100 more rows, but you double your stitches shortly after this.
Oh, okay.
So then it's you're using a lot more on those doubled. I can't remember. I think it's like 256. Maybe when I was down, or maybe it was 512.
That's definitely one of those, since it looks like it's a pie shaw type. Looks like it's going to be one that's going to be awesome once it's blocked out.
Yeah, and it seems like it's big enough. I mean, I would be happy with it just this size. So once it's blocked out, it's going to be way big enough for me, for my purposes. I'm not a whole shoulder drapey person. I might be someday, and then I still have the bathroom to do again with 2 skeins of sock yarn.
Sure do.
That is my FO.
That's it?
That is it.
Right.
Oh, goodness. Expectations are high for more.
No, I actually got a lot done.
You got a bazillion things done.
So, shortly after last week, I needed to knit this up and get it out of my head. So this is my zombie monster, or zombie toy, and basically, I made him up, and he reminds me a lot of a Rebecca Danger pattern. So I submitted his approval to Rebecca Danger. I don't know. I just felt iffy since, she's clearly the inspiration for my monster, and people can see that when they look at it, that I thought I would run it past her. I haven't heard back from her yet. So as soon as I hear back from her, I will submit for people who want to test knit it. So if you see this and you go, oh my god, I want that, just send me a PM and I can get this going. I'll probably only submit to test knitters for 20 tops, at first, and then, because I haven't banged out the details of the pattern myself, and I don't want to submit it to too many people right away when it's not finished.
Yeah.
But
in the grand scheme, I just feel like that is a small enough project that, like, okay, you could waste a little bit of people's time, but like sweaters, people that sign up to test knit sweater patterns, or I'm just like, holy.
I had to rip out my collar like twice because it kept getting revised. But that was it. The rest of the pattern was impeccable. So I chose a very experienced designer when I chose a test knit. It's a way for me to get my favorite designer's pattern for free.
Yeah.
I guess is my my takeaway
but
from
it's
it.
deadline knitting. I mean, I guess I've seen people out on Plurk and whatnot saying, but I don't want to do any deadline knitting right now. And
Elena gave us 2 months. I mean, she was very generous with the time. So there are some people who say, yeah, and I need it back in 2 weeks. And you're like, oh, yeah, I decline,
Yeah.
I wanted to, but I can't do it in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or they say a month, and you're like, ooh, that's really big shawl. I can't get a big shawl done in a month.
Yeah.
Not me, anyway. Anyway, there's one.
He is so, I love
His scar.
his scar detail.
His, her.
Yeah, I guess wearing pink. But
He's secure, or etc.
and he's got the sparklies in him from the...
it's the bedazzle base leftovers. Bedazzled.
But Rebecca doesn't have any that are off
asymmetrical
like that. And
no.
I mean, it's really hard. It would be hard for me as a designer, like if that was all that I did was look at patterns and whatever, to know where that line blurred, right? Like you knit so many of them, like you didn't like copy verbatim something from her pattern. I guess I don't know.
No, and I think the construction of it is different.
Yeah.
I obviously haven't knit all her patterns, but I think from the ones that I have knit, the construction is a lot different. But again, I submitted it to her. I felt like I'm not doing this for money per se. I haven't decided whether or not to charge for it, but it's one of those things where it's not my livelihood.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's not my livelihood, so I wanted to run it past her.
And there's other folks out there that do monsters. I can't remember who. I follow a blog of the lady that does monsters.
Yeah, and there are other people who have taken Rebecca Danger patterns, modified them, and then sold them again with her permission. So, or at least I know of one that happened around Halloween, and maybe I can find it and link it out there for you guys. But it's very similar to one that she had, but it had a lot of additions to it. So, I don't know. I submitted the picture to Rebecca, and hopefully she's like, yeah, sounds awesome. And maybe it's just one of those things, somebody comes in and says, hey, I created a monster based on yours, and it looks nothing like hers, and it's not her aesthetic. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, well, don't put my name on it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no. Okay. I locked it. I thought I kicked it over and got tea all over her carpet, but nope, I locked it. Thank goodness. I guess that's what I do with kids.
Yeah.
So this is my traveling turtle, Molly.
What's your story?
Oh gosh, I don't have one yet.
Oh, I thought that was part of the contest.
Yes.
Was there's a story?
Yes. Well, I was.
What's the colorway?
She was going to be she. This is Socks That Rock, and it's from. I'm actually wearing the socks.
Oh. Matchy.
Matchy. But no, it's from one of the club ones from a couple years ago. So. I don't quite remember. And then the contrasting is Moonstruck. And it's the medium. So Socks That Rock medium. Anyway, Molly really wants to be a podcaster. So she traveled to be with us today. So
co-host.
Yes.
Co-host Molly.
Molly wants to be co-host.
Now you can take a screenshot.
Yes. Awesome. Yes. And then I knit up a Rebecca Danger pattern that somebody had gifted me over Christmas. And I'm going to submit it for my SSK Monsters.
And what's his name? Her?
This is Francis, the something monster.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Is it Toybot? No, that's a different one.
Francis, the something monster. And I really like how it turned out.
Is Francis a girl or a boy? Check the genitive.
In there.
It's asexual.
I believe Francis has a bow on in the final project.
Is it a bow tie, though?
No, just a big fancy bow on the back.
Girl,
so probably a girl. But very cute.
Yes, adorable.
And I did this in my monsters. This is like Nomies, something. My Nomies.
Yeah.
So this is, Desi Dog Dye Works, my Nomies colorway.
And just billions of those monsters out of that one skein, don't you?
Oh, I do! They just keep going and going, and I still have a ton left. Actually, I could do another small-ish monster out of this stuff, or a contrasting color. So maybe you'll see a zombie.
A big guy. Right?
Yeah, a bigger one, yeah.
Yeah.
Made out of worsted. I'm not sure. I gotta test my own pattern, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's it. So 3.
Only. No,
monsters.
you have another one.
Oh!
Big one.
Well, you know,
a year in the making.
Yes, a year in the making. I showed it up.
Dropping stitches, lady. I'll pick that one up for you, but you need to pick the,
Okay. I kept these here so that I could tell the directionality on the sweater until I got like a little tag that says "Made by Me" on it. So,
you can tell because this is
but
the seaming is on the outside.
But yes, it's finished. It was worn like 3 days in a row because I finished it on Thursday. I wore it to work on Friday. I wore it to the meetup on Saturday, and I think I was cold on Sunday, so it's been worn a lot in the few days that it's been done.
So beautiful.
So it's yet to be washed and, reblocked or whatever.
Yeah. Ours kind of hit us at hip level, and Christy's is a little longer.
Yeah.
She wears hers at the belt, and it's a different look, but I loved it. It was nice.
So that is woohoo!
Yes, woohoo, woo boo.
It is off the needles. Woohoo! Yeah, so that's a lot of knitting.
Yes. Like yarn did, yeah.
That's gonna be a favorite for a while.
Yeah, hopefully, and mine is worn pretty well.
Yeah, actually, she wore it and she kept saying like, "Well, mine's a year older. It's gonna look so different," and it didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I definitely tell yours is a lot shinier, newer. Mine's a little more worn, but that's just me with a critical eye.
You can't tell.
Just a critical eye is all. That is all.
So yeah, I had 4. Haha.
Woo!
And I'm wearing another sweater that you made.
No. Oh no, that's the one that Erin was wearing, wasn't it? Yeah, Erin
Emily.
from what? Or Emily? You're right, Emily.
Emily was wearing it, and Erin and I bought it.
That's right.
I'm wearing it. I bought the gray.
The pattern kind of looks a little bit like the Bedford. Maybe?
Yeah, but it's got these drop stitches in it.
Yeah, and twisted.
Yeah, you can deconstruct it if you want. It's got ribbing and dropped cable stitching.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I really like it.
Is it the same color as?
I can't remember which one she was wearing. Yeah, probably. Because I don't remember wearing a black
pockets.
one.
Yes, it does. Very exciting. Afterthought pockets, right?
Yes.
It doesn't seem. It seems like they added one.
Yep.
Anyway, whew, exciting stuff. All right.
Yep.
My work in progress. If you watch the Knit Girls, you've probably heard about it or been on Plurk and heard me complaining. But Laura of the Knit Girls contacted Amy and I and said, "Come on, y'all, let's go knit let's do this." Because we were complaining about our wool mice, basically, our lace garment we had that was just collector's yarn, right? And so we are doing the LAR. I call mine the LAR. From the Shetland Trader. I guess I can show that picture since I think you've got a bigger one, but without showing the pattern information. But I have restart-itis. I cast this on with size 4s without swatching, which is my own stupid fault, and did a like one of the middle medium sizes. Yeah, like there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different sizes, and I picked the 3rd from the bottom to have some negative ease. The pattern is a little confusing as far as the sizes, because like they start out with 28 chest circumference is the size, and I don't think that's what mine is going to end up being. Anyway, so had 300 and some stitches, did the silly fiddly picot edging bind on or cast on, and got about halfway up to the meetup with Amy driving. Thank you for driving. And I was like, oh, this seems wrong. well, I hadn't done garter stitch, so it was rolling. And it was ginormous. These are 47-inch cables, and it was like all wadded up still. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I ripped it out in the car as we're there, and then the whole time I was there, I was casting on without the picot edging. The next size, or the smallest size with the 4s, and it was still ginormous. So that was cast on number 2. Finally on Sunday, I swatched. I was like, okay, I'm being stupid. I should swatch. I'm having gauge issues. Got gauge with 2s. Cast on the original size, which is again 300 and some whatever. Knit a few, maybe a little more than this, and again, like tried it on, and it was like out to here. I mean, like literally out to here, and I'm like, I won't be able to wear this. People are gonna think I'm wearing a maternity top. I know you said that it's gonna be baby doll-esque, and it will be. But
it certainly doesn't look that way in the pattern, though, which is kind of disheartening because, I mean, you cast on a lot of stitches and then it gathers by pleating. Bust, It does some pleating under the bust and maybe around the back, too. It decreases by a lot up here. And then you change to a smaller needle and do ribbing. So then it goes...
Yeah, even more.
So it starts out... I think I did the math. For my size, it starts out at 50 inches around your, hip area. And so that's a good, 10 inches of ease down there. It's like, whatever. And then it goes up to a 41 and some. And then when you switch to the smaller needle sizes, then that finally goes into the 36. So I was like, okay. Well, if my calculations are correct, it should cinch up right up here, like it's supposed to. So I'm going to have faith.
Which is really hard to do when you're knitting lace weights.
Agreed.
300 plus stitches for 10 inches, I believe.
Agreed. And I believe that I'm going to need more than 10 inches. Like, you might be able to stop at 10 inches, but I'm going to need 12.
Yeah, because, if it hits right here, it's going to need more than 10 inches. So I was telling Amy, if I were going to do this again, like, if for some reason I got up here and it was whatever and I wanted to rip it all out again, I still have, you can see, this is
she did like 6 inches of it and then ripped it out.
I need to
so Laura, you've probably caught up by now, because Megan had like 10 inches of cast on, start, rip, cast on, start, rip, cast on, start, rip.
But I just keep telling myself that I'm getting to work with this wonderful yarn and I'll be very happy with the finished object.
Yes, and how much you love your other lace garn sweater, that this is going to be just like that.
Yes. But if I was going to redo it, and I was going to do it again, I would follow the directions, but I would cast on the number of stitches they were saying with a provisional cast on, which is a lot, 300 provisional, so you'd have 2 needles with 300 or so each. And then I would work up, do maybe like an inch here, and then do all the pleating and whatever, and work up, and then at the end I would work down. Just because, and that's not how the pattern is written, but this is taking a lot of faith for me, because even when I put it on now, it's still like out to here, and I'm just like, that's not the type of...
But it gathers up a lot, so
I know it's going to be tight up here. I might go actually do the opposite. I might go, right now I'm just staying on the 2s. It calls for you to cast on with a smaller one and then go up a couple of sizes for the main body, and I didn't want it to get any bigger, so I stayed on the 2s. Maybe I'll do the opposite. Maybe I'll flip up higher in this section.
I don't know. So you'll have one that's more fitted in through the bottom and
more lace. You'd be able to see it through more up here. But again, another modification that we didn't necessarily. I'm assuming that people have either watched the Knit Girls like me and already heard it. But we're doing a Henley style. So it's originally a cardigan, and we're doing everything from the bust down as all in the round rather than as a cardigan. So that is my one work in progress.
So I have mine too.
You still have a drop stitch. I didn't pick up the yarn that fell. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm being.
So I have mine.
Yeah, and it's very. She showed her yarn.
See, now it looks more blue and purple.
Yeah, mine's more purple. Mine's like Versace Knitchen, which I looked up in German means like anything goes or something like that.
And mine's the Kerblom or whatever it is.
Oh, so yours is the exact same as hers.
Well, the same color name.
Yeah.
I doubt it's the same lot.
Mine's a weird difference, so it's really hard to tell, but it's like Versace and Sketch and Knitchen. I don't know. I don't know German at all. I don't know German at all. So.
Yep. Okay, now it's fixed. And then, did I bring anything else that I was working on? I'm supposed to be setting up here, and I didn't.
If I did an inch a day, I'd still have 10 days of doing the same round and round and round. I'm just like, okay, I may be doing other things.
I'm hyperventilating.
Yeah.
So I had the one sock, I think, done last week. So here's the 2B.
Mm.
And I just decided rather than finishing this one, I would work on this one next and get them both to the heels and then finish them.
Because you could always do the heels in the same, in something different, right? If you ran out. But you're not going to because you've got the contrast color.
Yeah, I've got plenty in the contrast color. So, yep, that's what I'm doing. And then, let's see. The Shalom. I knit up very little progress.
Additional, like close to halfway done, lady.
Well, I am.
Okay.
In the sense that I have 2 balls on here and then this much left. So I'm gonna probably knit through another half or whole ball, because the next time I sit down, I'll probably just go through another ball. Like I said, everybody's been doing really well and finishing it up pretty early, so...
Yeah. I was noticing that quite a few people have comments that they thought the underarms were a bit too big, and there was a couple suggestions out there on seaming them up.
Seaming them, like taking this piece and seaming it to up here, and then, making them a little bit smaller. But I think mine will be fine, so I'm not too worried about it. It's already small-ish, so.
Mine isn't out here. I had it out, but then I was like, all I did was put the buttons on it. So I put the buttons on it, and I put the buttons on my Delancey. So, yeah, I knuckled down. I got done with that thin ice, and I was like, I am going to finish. I'm going to do my finishing before I cast anything else on. So there was like a half day where I had nothing on the needles. N-O-N, nothing on the needles.
That never happens for me. Ever.
Yep. So my up next, I'm gonna, I have Bacon Fairy to blame, but I bought the Through the Loops Mystery Knit Along socks, so they are not mysterious to me in any way. I saw her work in progress photos and was like, oh, I must make those. And so I won't ruin them for anybody that's doing the mystery part of it, although I think it's almost done. I think I got one of the last clues. But they're beautiful. Go out and check out Bacon Fairy's work in progress photos and fall in love with them and knit them as well. And then I think I mentioned it when you were doing your hitchhiker. I had seen a pattern out there called Wingspan, and I think it just recently got released because it's like going like gangbusters. There's like a lot of folks everywhere doing it, especially with hand spun. And so I've got one of my Stash Bust 2012 yarns that I've kind of got pegged for that. Knit Pearl Girl is posting her wedges. I think she's got like 3 of the wedges done, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that.
Triangles, yeah.
Yes. So those are my next, don't hold me to it. Next week I'll probably, if anything, I don't cast on things, I just queue them up and my queue just keeps on flip-flopping. Like things trickle to the top and then move back down and then trickle to the top. So I have queue ADD. I don't have finished object ADD. So.
My up next is nothing. I need to have about a finishitis and get some more things off the needles. I think the next things off the needles are going to be probably socks. Get the little girl socks done, get a pair for me done. I don't know, little things. And then I'll just start working on the big things more exclusively. Because I have, I left it. I had 4 sweaters on the needles, 3 monsters, until I finished them this week. And then 2 shawls, 2 socks. I don't know. It was like 12. And I was like, okay, that's enough. I can't do any more. No. No more. So
a dozen is
apparently a dozen is my limit.
Okay.
And I'm getting too hectic and whatnot. So my goals will be to finish up some projects, and nothing else is going to be going on.
I'm going to see how I've got in my head that needs to get put down a design for a triangular shawl or scarf. So we'll see how much of that impacts my knitting.
Yes, that's true. Designing does take time.
It does take time.
Because I wrote up the pattern and put it, in the computer, and I want to knit it up again, and then refine it some more, and meanwhile, I had some mittens that I started that are color work, and I don't know. That's my other design maybe out there, but that's going to take forever. That's going to take months and months of work before it's done. So that's going to be a continuous thing that I have to work on. But I'm taking copious notes, and I have a big workbook that I'm doing all that in. So cool when I get a chance. But I think we're already up high, and we haven't even done fun enablement stuff.
I know. Here, let me lean over and fall down, because I officially fell off the wagon this week with my yarn diet. At Knitter's Palette, I got some lovelies. I was kind of on a stripe study kick. I wanted to pick out something for a stripe study, and I also was on an alpaca kick. So I was trying to choose colors, and Amy was like, just get them all and decide at home. So this is Amy's fault. But this is Barocco Ultra Alpaca Fine. And this is, I believe this one is pea soup, or split pea. This one is turquoise mix. And this one is redwood. So, and if this doesn't go into a stripe study, which right now I think I'm favoring these 2 together maybe, and these 2 together, it might end up being like a the Diana Knittables Valentine's Day cowl with the red being really pretty. But Amy and I both got some of this. It's Mountaintop by Classic Elite Yarns Veil. So it's 70% baby alpaca, 30% bamboo viscose. And I picked it up and I was like, Amy, feel this.
It's hard to put down, it really is. And it's so reasonable. You get 236 yards for $90.
Yeah, and so I went on Webs, and it's $8.95 out on Webs. So even after discount, you would get, it would be extremely cheap. So
yeah, I bought 3, and I hope to make a little chalette or something out of it. But now I'm like, okay, is there enough to do something else in it? I don't know. I can't decide what I want to make with it.
I told her maybe a Coachella, like a knitted tank top, where, because this will be really warm with all that alpaca. But if it was like a tank top, I think you'd have enough with 600 yards. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's 700.
Oh, yeah, because 3 of them.
Yeah. So, 700 yards. I don't know.
They only have are these neutral colors, though. So, mine's charcoal, hers is kind of a brownie. They have a white, I can't remember what the other ones were.
I think this one was the chestnut.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, there's a cream and 2 different grays, 2 different browns, and a black. So black, white, 2 browns, 2 grays.
So it's funny because we ended up picking these up and loving them. And the lady that was manning the register was like, yeah, that's one of my favorite new yarns. And you just happened to gleam onto it. She had knit a store sample of the shawl that was just gorgeous. So those are what I got at Knitter's Palette. And then GI Punk Jen contacted me of 716 Knit And I ordered some lovelies from her. She showered us with love. Excuse me.
So one of these was what Megan was given to sample
Yeah.
and review.
Yep.
And the other three were just because they fell into her cart.
They did. I couldn't help it. They just had to come home with me. So this is Care Bear with Fangs in her self-striping boss, I believe, is it? It's DK weight. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. The yarn is just like, I want to tell you and show you. So it's 716 Knit. We'll give a linky link out to her, and it's Jen. And she started dyeing because she was looking for really crazy colors, and she couldn't find them, especially like in sock yarn, but we ordered monster yarn. So this is the DK, but she does have lots of self-striping sock yarn out there. And so she, like this one has HXC on it, that means hardcore. And she's just really about, living life. And all of her colorways are inspired by, or quotes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. What else did I want to mention?
Gorgeous.
Yeah. So, and then 716 is the area code for Buffalo, which is where she's out of. So, go out to her shop, give it a looky-loo. She has provided the viewers of this podcast a coupon code for free shipping. Going Postal. G-O-I-N-G, Going, P-O-S-T-A-L, Postal. So you can get free shipping from Jen. Give her shop some love because she's got some wonderful stuff. So again, now I'm back to, this is DK weight. I think this is going to make a fantastic monster. I'll knit my first monster out of this guy. The colors are they just pop. The blacks are very saturated. All the other colors are very saturated. It reminds me a lot of my Woolmice, actually. It's the color, the dye saturation. And then I got another self-striping of outlawing of human triangles. That must have been an interesting conversation in the show. But it's an 80-10-10, 400 yards of her cashmere base. That one fell into the cart somehow. And then these two, she said one of these was a favorite of her fiber one, and the other one was, I can't remember, but they all have these neat little stitch markers, which she also gave us. If I can find them somewhere, they must have fallen between here. So mine are hearts that say 716, and hers are
little hands.
But I have a 716 heart on here. And this is Slayer Fest, which it's a lot more pastel, as you mentioned, than the Walking Wisty, but it's kind of similar, like brains, green, or brains and greens and grays and pinks.
It would knit up very cool.
Yeah, yep. And then the other one is, this was No Boating Accident, which I think would make a very good turtle with the blues and the greens. Just wonderful and very, very soft. The merino is, obviously the cashmere is. And she also sent along some little mini skeins. I really want to know what this colorway is. I think it's very pretty. That one looks to be a self-striping. This one looks like
the one that we have.
Slayer Fest, yeah.
There's Slayer, two of them.
Yep, two of them. And so one of these that fell into my cart, probably not the cashmere and probably not the Care Bear with Fangs, will be, I'll be giving away in the future for something. We got a lot of upcoming giveaways with the knit along, so don't want to throw that in. But thank you so much, Jen. These are fantastic.
Yeah. You'll see mine in a minute.
Okay.
Or
that is all of mine. I officially fell off the wagon.
So here's the one that I picked. Yes. Mine is called Passions is On. Passions. So, yeah, I love it. So electric blue, shock green, and then black. I don't know if this one's self-striping. It doesn't have the hard core on it, so it might not be. But it kind of looks like it might be to me. So maybe it just didn't get written on the tag, or I'll be surprised. But it's a fun color, and it is super bright. So yeah, that's an electric blue, a shock green. Yeah, that's cool. And again, it came with a cute little stitchy marker tied on with the tag, so just really cute. And as I recall, her prices were, spot on. I mean, just like everybody else, really good.
Yep.
So I'm excited to try that out, and when I actually get a chance to knit with it, we'll review it officially.
Yeah. Well, you'll see it in a finished object, and so.
And then I got an order of Dancing Dog Dye Works.
Because got a lot of colors.
Because I am addicted. So I got some sock yarn too, left it at home. These are my monster ones. So this is Zombie Dog and Lime Green. So it's the contrasting color, or matchy color, of the zombie dog, and then lime.
She had that before we were zombies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Such a cool color.
It is. Are you going to make your little zombie the podcaster, or would that be too huge?
I could.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I could. That'd be fun. Maybe I'll skein them up tonight, or wind them up tonight. And then I got Sugar Skulls and Lindsay Pink. Sugar Skulls! I can't believe it. So it's a gray and then a whole host of really cool colors. So greens and pinks and blues. I don't see, there's kind of a purple, but not really. So it's more pinks and blues and greens in there. So yeah, no real purple. There's some pinks that kind of fade, but not purple. And then Lindsay Pink. And Lindsay is the moderator of her group. So
that's fun.
It was named after her. Itchy nose. Yeah. But this is the waltz worsted base. I love knitting with it. I've made a slew of monsters, as you can see. This is waltz worsted. And so Sugar Skulls will kind of look like this, just all mixed up and blended together. Same with the zombie dog. Just kind of mixed up and go all around.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it pools or streaks or stripes or really.
A little bit of a flash right there with the yellow, but when you're increasing and decreasing in a pattern, that tends to happen.
Yep.
And then I got a little stripey on the legs because they're like little, but yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, but those are cool. That's cool.
It's got stripey legs and arms.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'll be knitting with these soon. I love my, I have a whole tub of this now, or box, I should say.
It gets its own, it's
like this.
I've got
Well, it's my monster box.
Ah.
And so there are other things that aren't DDD yarn, but most of it is.
I've got a Madeline Tosh. It's got its own tote. But.
Well, and it's not a tote. It's like, it's a box. It's like, maybe 15 inches by 15 inches, a square.
Yeah.
And, it's just a special, like, it looks like a gift box for Christmas. And, you can lift the top off and, I don't know. So it's a special
birthday
box
to me when you open it.
Yes, and it's got all my monster colors in it. So this will go in it. Actually, I might have to wind this up and start using it right away. But, yeah, that's where it would go. It would belong with the rest of my monsters. And, yeah, I'm addicted to these little toy projects.
Yeah, your kids are the right age, too.
Yes, they do. The turtle, I had to explain that the turtle was coming with Mommy tonight. And I needed to put him in my bag before I forgot. So they were still awake when I had to grab him. Molly had to come with me. And then this one is probably heading to a swap. So they do ask me that, Mommy, is this going to a swap person? No, it gets to stay here. Yay! So, yeah, that's my acquisitions. Amazing. I got 2 more balls of yarn at Knitter's Palette that I didn't bring. as well as some 3 Irish girls that I didn't show you from before. So I'm going to slowly roll it out.
Yeah.
And I think that after this, I'm going to slow down on the purchasing, like, because again, this was ordered. It was on order, and it finally came. So I'm like, yay, it finally came. I'm all, woohoo, you know. And then this was a gift. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
And then this was, you know, special meetup memory yarn, as we call it, right? Like, remember the day when we had our first meetup, and I bought that yarn.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and again, thank you to the Knitter's Palette. It was perfect venue for our meetup. It was awesome. I don't know if we might have another mini meetup, but another big meetup would be the one that we discussed, that would be Des Moines.
Yeah.
So if you, like, yay, hooray, Des Moines is an awesome idea, go out and tell us that you want it to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We both have family close enough to Des Moines that we could both make it down there, maybe drop our families off at our parents' house, and then come meet up with you guys.
Yeah.
So definitely something that's doable. We'll want to wait for the weather to become more predictable, but other than that, we're excited.
Yes, yep, we got all kinds of things in the works, which is just an exciting place to be.
Yeah, and I'm having fun on Plurk this week. I don't know why. I just blurk, 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 blurk. Yep. Although tomorrow I might be MIA. I'm trying to stay low profile for a few days. You know, get some actual work done.
Oh, yeah. Why would you want to do that?
I didn't want to do that.
All right. I am Just Run It, and on Plurk I am the Stocking Knit Zombies, or Stocking Knit Zombie, ST Zombies, and you are
J Knitma both places. I try to be J Knitma everywhere.
Yeah, I was thinking, and now I've got everybody friended and stuff. I was thinking, well, I should probably just have my own instead of taking Stocking Knit Zombies, because I'm not both of us, you know. But we'll see. If I get there. I wonder if I can just change my name, but then people wouldn't know who it was. Maybe they would. I don't know.
Just Run It.
Yeah.
If it was out there. I don't know if it is. But
yeah. Anywho, we're long-winded this week. Had lots to talk about, lots of exciting stuff that has gone on. Thank you all for knitting along with us and watching us, talking to us. I feel like it felt real after we met folks that would only have known us through the podcast.
Yeah, we had an encounter in the parking lot.
Yeah. Like, I recognize you. And it's like, okay, I don't recognize you, but...
Well, we were going there for the meetup, so we were like, hey!
Yeah.
You must be a watcher, a zombie.
Yep. So, anyway, we shall say goodbye until next week. Bye, Oofta.
Bye-bye.